It's December and the Cardinals are still playing football. This week, defending national champion and consensus #1 Wisconsin Whitewater comes to Naperville, and the Cardinals hope to prove they are a national power. Are you excited? You should be. The Red Zone starts right now. Welcome into the first ever playoff quarterfinal edition of the Red Zone. I'm Alex Simmons with Cardinal head coach John Thorne. Coach, your team starts out a little bit slow on Saturday, but the defense stands tall. You guys make some big plays and come away with a very entertaining victory.
Yeah, those last three quarters were some very, very good football, but the first quarter we got off to a slow start, special teams and the offense, but the defense stayed really solid. So it was a lot of fun, and today's December 1st, first time we've ever got to practice and get ready for a game in December. So we're pretty excited.
It was as much fun as it sounds. Let's go to the tape. Spencer Stanek and the Cardinals are taking on the Ohio Northern Polar Bears. Winner gets to the quarterfinals. First ONU drive, and Cedric Marshall gallops through a gaping hole at the line. That's 16 yards. Polar Bears would get a field goal to take the lead. Same score going into the second quarter, but the tide turns on this play. Kyle Haste comes off the edge to block the Kevin Wazlowski punt. Cardinals recover and have some momentum. And it goes to good use. Nick Kukoc takes the handoff on first down, gets to the second level, and chews up 31 yards in the process. Later in the series, Stanek shows he can scoot too. From 5 yards out, he gives the Cardinals the lead, 7-3. After a Polar Bear punt, the Cards are just shy of the 50, but that's no problem for Kukoc. The super sophomore turns on the super speed and beats the Polar Bear safety to the corner of the end zone for the 51-yard score. That'll help right before heading to the locker room. Second half now, and North Central is really taking control. This is the guy who's supposed to be the power back. Jordan Tassio shows he's got some speed too. 48 yards in all. That'll get NCC in the red zone. And from there, the Cards go with the Maryland I formation. Jeff Grunwald won't be denied from 2 yards out. Cards go up 18 and don't look back. Coach, North Central in the quarterfinals for the first time. Your old stomping grounds, Wheaton Warrenville South, wins back-to-back state titles. The Thorne household has to be riding high right now, right?
Well, it's a lot of fun, the football part of it, that's for sure. And our players are very excited. They don't have classes, so we tell them they're like professional athletes now. You just get good sleep, eat well, study film, get some lifting done, go to practice, and got a lot of smiles on their faces. So hopefully this is the right formula to play extremely well on Saturday, because we know Whitewater's pretty good.
And we go to our game-changer performance this week. It came in the third phase of the game, special teams. It was a play that really turned the tide in the second quarter. Kyle Haste coming in and blocking a punt.
That was a huge play. It was so different because they had sent their field goal team out. So we actually burned a timeout to get our Patriots out there because it was running down to the very end. So when they came back, they had sent their punt team out, trying to get us to burn another timeout. So, but our guys know how to line up, and we let them go ahead and do that. And Kyle made a great play, and huge momentum change. And Jeff Grunwald almost scooped that up and had a chance to run it, but he covered it very well.
And I know, we were looking there, you guys. It was at the point where somebody had to block it because nobody was back deep.
Yeah, we didn't care about that. We just wanted to make sure they weren't running a fake, but still try to put some pressure on him.
For sure. And how much did that turn the momentum in your favor? You guys are down 3-0. Not a lot's working on offense, and they come out to punt. A couple bad penalties extended their drive there, and that punt gets blocked, and it seemed like everything turned from there.
Yeah, it really did. You know, we had 2 huge mistakes on special teams early. We had some big penalties early, and the rest of the game we had almost no penalties at all. And I think our very first or second play, right after that block, we had a huge run, and the momentum for the offense just started rolling, and it never really stopped the rest of the game. They put up 28 points after that.
And we look at the stats from Saturday's game, 285 yards rushing, 6.1 per attempt. It's really what we've come to expect from you guys this season. Play tough defense, pound the ball, wear the opponent down, and that really leads to some of those big plays. Yeah,
it does, and it takes a lot of pressure off of the young quarterbacks, you know, to not think that they have to drop back and make big plays throwing the ball all the time. So we gave up some sacks this week, which were disappointing, but they were all on play action, and Ohio Northern, to their credit, had called blitz at exactly the right time, and the quarterback just didn't have enough time to get it out of his hand.
And talking to your son, Jeff, yesterday, he said he'd never think of a game where he'd only call 11 pass attempts. What's it been like to see the transformation of this offense? You know, 5 years ago, you guys were slinging the ball around 40-plus times a game. Now you can have a game where you only call 11 pass plays and win pretty convincingly.
Well, I was a running back, and I've always loved running the football. But you have to get the right mix of offensive linemen in the program, and get they're big enough, fast enough, strong enough, all those things. And it's really hard to recruit offensive linemen. Everybody wants offensive linemen. They get recruited very, very fast. And you needed tight ends. And we've got 3 great tight ends. We've got a terrific group of offensive linemen. So the last 2 years, we've been able to run the ball a lot, and it's really changed the way Coach Jeff is going to call the games the last couple years. Last year, huge 49 points a game average. This year we're over 40 a game, so it's going to work, and it's really going to help us in this kind of weather, you know, when it's snowing outside. Sometimes a little hard to throw and catch the ball.
Exactly. Well, Saturday's victory sent the Cardinals to the quarterfinals for the first time in school history and set up a matchup with perennial powerhouse Wisconsin Whitewater. And that's who Cardinal players have wanted to play since the bracket was released. That's the subject of this week's What's the Word?
That's what we've always wanted to do as a program, is to get to the point where we are, you know, not only playing the best teams in the country, but beating them. And we have an opportunity now to prepare to, you know, stand up against the #1 team in the country, and that's where we want to be, and that's what we want to do. So we've got what we want.
We've been getting a bunch of crap for getting the #1 seed with Whitewater in our side of the bracket and everything, and I think we just all want to prove that we should and deserve that spot.
We do deserve it. We feel like we did deserve it. We have a tough schedule. We played some good teams already. They've obviously played some good teams already, but we've worked hard for this, and I definitely think we deserve it.
We don't care about anything. We take it one game at a time, but in the back of everybody's mind is we want to play Whitewater. I mean, it's just one of those things where we want to play the best team in America to show that we can play them, and it's exciting to know that we finally get our shot at them.
Coach, as we look to this matchup, it's one of the marquee ones people are looking at in this tournament. Wisconsin Whitewater, obviously a very successful program over the past 10 years or so. Are you maybe worried at all that you know, maybe some of the guys will be focusing on the name on the front of the jersey rather than, you know, worrying about their assignment on a certain play?
Well, we've had a phrase all year long: play and practice like you're going to play the best team in the country this week. And so I think our guys will come out and play as hard as they can, and hopefully that's hard enough to stand up against a really great team. I mean, Whitewater has got big, strong, fast players. There's a reason why they've been ranked #1 in the nation, and they've been to the Stag Bowl the last 5 years. And the last time we played them, we're totally different program now than we were then. And we had there was a 48-minute stretch there where we played them pretty well, but both ends of the game, the beginning and the end, we gave up a lot of scores, so it looked like a horrible loss. So we want to play a lot tougher. We'd love to get to the fourth quarter, be ahead or close to the lead, and have a chance to make something really exciting happen.
And looking at the Warhawks, the guy that jumps off the page, Lavelle Coppage, more than 1,500 yards, 20 touchdowns. For a team that prides itself on stopping the run, this is a guy that's got to be a huge factor for you guys going into Saturday.
Yeah, sure is. The last 2 weeks in a row, I mean, the last guy had 1,400, so if we would have been playing them this week, he probably would have had 1,500, and now we're playing somebody that does have 1,500, and he's certainly shifty. He's quick. Their offensive line do a tremendous job of being patient, you know, and not coming off their blocks too early to get to linebackers. So we're working on some things very hard in practice this week to make sure that we're in the right gaps at the right time.
And we're still not really sure who exactly we're going to see at quarterback. Matt Blanchard, the guy that started most of the season coming off a finger injury. How much does the game plan change depending on which one of these guys we see under center?
Well, they're both going to hand the ball off a lot, so it's still the big key is can you slow down the run or really put a stop to it where you have a chance to know they're definitely going to throw. We assume the starter is going to be back this week, and he's 6'4", and he sees the field a little bit better than the number 2 guy, but both of them have been very, very good. High percentage completion, don't make a lot of mistakes, almost no interceptions, so it's going to be a good challenge.
And looking at this Whitewater defense, they're just as good at stopping the running game as you guys are. Do you guys maybe go to the air a little bit more come Saturday?
Well, certainly we'll probably have to throw it more than 11 times, but we still need to hand the ball off several times. Lots of good things happen when you hand the ball off, and we're hoping that our offensive linemen are going to have one of those really great days, and the running backs are going to find some creases and put their foot in the ground and head north and south. And we'll just see what happens, I guess.
We'll have to. Stick around. We've got more Red Zone just after this short break.